So this is a cold one with Corey and Carlisle. And if you don't know already, this is simply a free-form conversation recording session where Carlisle and I, we sit down, we have a six-pack of beer, and we talk about things that happened the previous week before. Now, these are more like audio podcasts, which means that they're longer than our video reviews, and they're also unedited. So if you're offended by the foul language, you might not want to listen. But if you aren't, then sit back, hang out with us, and we hope you enjoy. Thanks. Go ahead. I ain't gonna start over. Go ahead.
Once again, live from the Spill Studios, located behind a liquor store off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for A Couple of Cold Ones with Corey and Carlisle.
Speaking of a couple of candy corn,
I wasn't going to say anything.
I didn't pull this out because you gave it to me. I'm actually eating this stuff. One bag is gone.
Yeah, no, I knew it. This candy corn's awesome, man. I love it. Yeah, for those of you that remember our discussion last week, we talked about candy corn, and then I showed up to a screening this week of Soul Men with Corey and had 2 bags of candy corn for him. He's like, really? For me?
No, I really appreciated that, too. That was very heartfelt. I loved it. I was like, man, you could have brought me gold at the time.
This is candy corn, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we're not even drinking right now. I just got off of a plane. I'm sitting up here eating this candy. I was hungry when I came in. I was like, well, I'm not going to get anything to eat yet. I want to record, but it's a good time for some candy corn.
That's right.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Weekend okay? You get some work done, all that kind of stuff?
I was a really shitty week, so I'm just happy that it's a brand new week.
Looking forward to oh, well, it is Monday. What day? Okay,
yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah,
we got a brand new week going on.
All right, man.
When people listen to this, it'll be Tuesday, which oddly enough is a little anniversary of mine.
What is that?
2 years ago. Today, because we're recording this on the 11th. 2 years ago today, I quit smoking.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you celebrate with a cigar or a cigarette?
No. I'm celebrating by sitting here with you, watching you eat candy corn.
Did you want some of this? I didn't
No. I've got a big bowl of candy corn at home, dude. I've been chowing on that for a week. No, I literally quit smoking 2 years ago. Doesn't it seem like I was just smoking like recently?
Yeah, you and Cyrus, man, both of you guys. Did you quit smoking at the same time?
No, he quit smoking because I quit smoking. We were supposed to quit at the same time, and then he pussed out, and then he realized after 2 months that I had completely quit smoking, and that I was like totally, I was on the wagon, and he's like, "Ah, crap! Now I got to do it too." And so he quit as well. But yeah, he quit shortly after me.
So you as pissed off as he was when you quit smoking?
Oh God, don't you remember the Happy Feet review?
Was that a result of...
I saw Happy Feet the day I quit smoking, and I wrote the review 2 days later.
That was the most insane conversation I've ever seen you and Leon in the middle of.
I had just quit smoking. I was all sorts of on edge.
Really? I mean, both of you guys seem like you were on edge. I remember because Cyrus would just yell at me about stuff, and he emailed back and said, "Sorry, I just quit smoking." I was like, "Man, it's cool. We've all gone through it."
They're not playing around when they talk about that. When you quit smoking, you become a motherfucker. I mean, you don't just get a little tense. You become a motherfucker, and then finally you learn how to cope, and you become fine again. And then you're like, "Why the fuck was I smoking the cigarettes?" But,
yeah, man, I tried smoking a couple of times to look cool. I mean, I did this like so much as like maybe 3 years ago. Just picked up a cigarette just to see what it was like. Just start trying to look cool. I must have looked like the most retarded person trying to smoke something, coughing, fumbling with the cigarette. But yeah, the Happy Feet review that you did, I mean, I don't know if you want to tell people. I just remember it had something to do with Happy Feet was telling kids to not believe in God.
Well, no. I mean, really, Happy Feet is there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a children's propaganda film, and I was one of the only critics on the planet to call it out for that. Everyone else kind of avoided that landmine and said, "Fuck, we're just going to write about how pretty the icebergs are." And
people genuinely liked it, though.
No, people were genuinely divided by it. In fact, Man, this is bringing up a lot about it.
I'm not going to take it there. I'm just. No. I saw Happy Feet and it made me happy.
Nobody was taking Happy Feet seriously, and Fox News, they sent one of their anchors' mothers to go and see the film and review because they so didn't give a shit about it. So they had this like 70-year-old woman reviewing the film. It was because of the review that I wrote that they said, wait a second, what the hell's going on here, and went and saw it. And then they started covering the film and talking about what a liberal propaganda film it was.
But that's what Fox does with everything.
Yeah, except I was actually responsible for calling their attention to it. That was the scary thing about what was going on at the time, because like nobody was writing about it. And it's not just them. I mean, it really became kind of a thing for a while. And George Miller was getting asked about it all over the place. He was getting asked about my review constantly. And that was the moment at which I knew that I had kind of, it was one of those moments where it's like, okay. Because George Miller, I read an interview where he got asked about my review. He's like, I don't know what these people are seeing. These people are bringing their own stuff. There's nothing political about my movie at all. And then even the people that loved it said, oh, now wait a goddamn second. That movie's extremely political. We just happen to agree with your politics.
Leon argued with you for about an hour and a half about that.
Leon is an atheist who is an extremely liberal atheist. The film was made for Leon. If Leon had kids, that would be the film he'd want to take his kids to. It was... me and him are on opposite sides of the spectrum, but we get along because we both belong there because of reason. We're not, ideological demagogues are just spitting, rehearsed mantras back at one another. We actually have conversations. And this film was on the opposite end of me. And I don't have a problem with the film existing. My problem was always with the fact that they didn't advertise it properly, that they tried to conceal it. They actually did. You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
In all the trailers, they digitally edited out the 6-pack that's around the penguin.
Yeah.
They took that out because they didn't want to even hint at the fact that there was some kind of ecological message within the film. And there's a lot of stuff that was within the film that was controversial and is fine to be in a film, and that I totally support. I just don't support concealing.
Yeah, no. I saw it on a plane on my way back from I don't know where I was coming from, but I watched the whole thing and I was like, I like this movie.
You even like the 10-minute dance sequences?
That movie was fucking
love
boring. That, man. I love
that movie. Bored the shit out of me.
Happy Feet made me happy.
But see, you're an animator and you're very forgiving of animated films.
No, I'm not. No,
I'm
not
no. Yes,
films.
you are. I remember we all walked out pissed off at Shrek 3, and you were the guy going, "It's not that bad."
No, I didn't say it was that. I didn't say it was not that bad. Actually, what I said was I saw Shrek 3 as a piece of every other blockbuster that summer, and I compared it to things that people were like warring about. Like you guys were arguing about Transformers, and I see it the same as Transformers. You guys were arguing about Spider-Man 3. I said, I see it the same as Spider-Man 3. I see it the same as Pirates of the Caribbean. To me, that was a suck-ass summer, and this was just another piece of it.
I remember that review very well, because we ganged up on you.
I made it that, hey, look, who edit these reviews? I made it that way. I made it funny, but the thing is, I did say, and in the review, people can listen. I said, it's the same as every other blockbuster out there.
Animated films happen to be your thing, and you are easier. I know you don't want to acknowledge that fact.
No, because I'm telling you that I know for a fact that's not true. I mean, you can perceive that if you want to.
Oh, sure, okay,
but that is not true.
I want to.
That is your perception.
And that brings us to tonight's top 5.
In fact, what animated movies did I not like that I think you guys liked, and I came out of saying I don't really care for it. It was something.
One.
WALL-E was something that I admitted that you liked better than I did. I thought WALL-E was cool, but I wasn't crazy about it. What do you call it? What was that movie? The car movie? Cars. Yeah, I thought Cars was
nobody
lame.
liked Cars.
Yeah, no, Cars. Somebody liked Cars because they made that a big hit.
Yeah, 3-year-olds.
No, I mean I don't. I don't
out
care.
There's some 45-year-old going, "Fuck you, Carlisle. Cars
Exactly.
is awesome.
There's a lot.
Pixar rules. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's another one.
Fail.
Monsters Inc. You liked a lot, and I said, Monsters Inc. I didn't really care.
What are you
for
talking about? I'm not the Monsters Inc. fan.
Somebody loved Monsters Inc. a lot.
I mean, I thought Monsters Inc. was entertaining, but I don't love it.
I just thought whatever. Ice Age came out of saying it's good, but
I don't like Ice Age at all, and I hate Ice Age too.
And as of recently, Madagascar. I was actually more critical about that than you were. We kind of gave it the same rating, but I said,
"What do you?" I think you're thinking of Cyrus.
Madagascar 2, actually.
I thought it was better than the first one, but not particularly good.
Yeah, I mean, I came out saying
I'm
Madagascar
just saying
was kind of.
you're forgiving of animated films.
Out of
You
all
love
these,
see.
let me ask you: out of all these movies that I named,
You're taking this.
like,
You are taking this. No, you.
no,
keep,
out of
you
all these
keep
movies
going,
that I named, how is this proving that I am more forgiving of animated movies? Out of all these movies that I named, how is that
because
proof?
you've named a couple of films that you didn't like versus you didn't bother to name all the films that you really like.
Name some movies that I really like.
Exactly. No, don't even.
No, name one. Name one.
Here's okay. You know what? I'm going to take this all back because you don't understand what I'm telling you. You have no idea what I'm even saying. I may as well be speaking fucking French here because
you did not give me one movie that I just loved that I give it more credit for. If you can name one, and don't say Shrek because I said Shrek was just like any other blockbuster.
Now you're making me like try to remember your reviews of things, and I don't remember your reviews of things.
But
I know for a fact I've sat across from you for what 5, 6, 7 years now,
and you cannot name one animated movie that I've like been biased against or been lenient on. I tell you what, I've come out of some movies liking them, saying that it's an animated movie, and then but it didn't get that much credit. Titan AE is one of them.
Well, Titan AE is awesome.
Yeah, we agreed on that. Like Titan AE is kind of an underrated movie. I can see where
Titan AE is very underrated.
It's where the story wise is probably not going to appeal to a lot of people, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Treasure Planet.
I did like Treasure Planet.
Yeah, I did not like Treasure
Planet.
But
it's not because it's an animated movie, because Leon liked Treasure Planet too. We came out of it saying, hey, that wasn't so bad. We can see it's not going to be a hit, but I tell you what I didn't like.
I liked it better when it was called Titan AE.
And I did compare it to Titan AE. I even said...
No, all I'm saying... And
I didn't like Atlantis, though.
You keep interrupting me. All I'm saying is you being an animator... You enjoy a lot more of the nuances of the animation.
But you haven't been able to prove this yet.
I'm not trying to prove. I don't have to prove. It is not something that I feel the need that I have to prove.
You should be able to back yourself up on things like that, though. I backed myself up on movies that I said. I backed my point up on saying that I'm not crazy about animated movies just because they're animated. You should be able to back your point up by telling me that.
No, you know what? I don't have to. You are the one that has to sit there and...
I've proved it. I've defended it.
No, you haven't proved it. You've said, hey, look, I like this, and you loved that. I didn't like this, and you loved this. No, I didn't like that. You brought up a number of films that I didn't like that you also weren't so hot on. However, for years, I've sat here and watched you always give a higher rating to animated films than I have.
But you can't name one.
Finding Nemo.
Everybody loves Finding Nemo.
Everybody but me, motherfucker.
And so that you can't pin that on me. Man, let's move on.
That's my one. I tried to move along, so let's get into tonight's top 5, motherfucker.
Crazy son of a bitch. All right, so number 5.
Finding Nemo's overrated, dude.
Finding Nemo, there's a million people out there.
I'm well aware that I don't get
millions of people.
Weeping pussies.
Okay. Now,
whispering eyes.
Here's one movie. I mean, I'm going to move on, but this is my last point here. Lion King, don't get it. Liked it. Don't know why it was one of Disney's best animated movies.
The Lion King, dude. I hate that movie. We've talked about that before, but we'll move on and get into the top 5 because this weekend's top 5 is moderately entertaining.
Yeah, at number 5 we have Happy Feet 2. Electric Boogaloo. No, go ahead. That's your thing. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. I mean, we can move right. We're getting to number 5.
Oh, okay, there we go. Number 5. Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Hey, I'm happy to see that this is still in the top 5.
Steep drop, but still in the top 5.
Sure, but it's Kevin Smith, and it's a movie we liked, and it made me laugh. So,
and hey, look, I don't know how much the movie made, but I'm sorry, I don't know how much the movie cost, but it made $6.3 million this week. Last week it was at $10 million.
Not a lot. He's making no budget films. That's the whole thing. Is a lot of people didn't get Clerks 2. A lot of people are like, I wish he'd move on from this. I wish he'd go on and do other things. Clerks 2 was him coming out and admitting, look, this is who I am. This is the filmmaker I am. I'm never going to be Steven Spielberg. I'm the guy that's going to make
right.
dick and fart joke comedies. I'm going to make them for no money, but there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what Clerks 2 is all about. And that's what Zack and Miri is. It's just another one of his films for his fans, made for no money, that made its money back opening weekend. And that's what this guy does.
He didn't make that movie for $10 million, though.
Dude, he does. No, Clerks 2 was made for $6 million. Zack and Miri, I don't think, was probably made for much more than that. I mean, it may have been, but it definitely wasn't 20 million.
Okay. Well, it made. I imagine it's on its way to making a profit. It's already made $20.7 million. So
It's made its money back and then some. It's going to continue on. It's going to do well on DVD. It's a funny movie. It's a good, solid Kevin Smith film.
It's an amusing movie.
And you know what? I tend to be more lenient on Kevin Smith movies because I am self-aware.
I was so wanting to come in and say something. You beat me to the shit because I was going to say last week you talked about how you were lenient on Kevin Smith. You were a Kevin Smith
I love
fan.
his movies. I absolutely love them. And you know what? If you're a Kevin Smith fan, you haven't seen this yet, you got to see it. It's Kevin Smith.
If you are a Kevin Smith man, you can see anything he does. If you're a Kevin Smith fan, you can see him taking a shit and break the toilet.
That is not true. I mean,
I don't know. Kevin Smith fans. This is what annoys me too. I mean, it's just me though. I am not a blind fan. I don't think of anything, but you just admitted you are a true fan, so you probably like Kevin Smith as long as he's kind of doing what he's doing right now, no matter what.
Sure. Well, not no matter what. He's still got to deliver the goods. He's still got to bring his best.
As long as he's doing what he's kind of doing right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Which I don't think is his best, but you think that's him.
Well, no. It's him. It's not the best thing he's done, but I think Zack and Miri is up there among some of the better things he's done. I think it's one of his funniest movies. I think it's definitely one of his most heartfelt movies. Nothing touches Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is the single best thing he's done. Amy. Clerks is great. Clerks isn't the best movie he's made. It was just very groundbreaking.
Even though I saw Clerks again not too long ago, about a year and a half ago, every time I see that movie, I grow to like it even more.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I've got it on my PSP. I've got the Clerks X, and I take that with me on planes and such because it's one of those movies that you can just pop in and zone out and
I like
really
Clerks
enjoy.
From the very beginning. I mean, looking at it now, I'm just like, wow, this movie really does grow on me the more I see it. So there are you naysayers about me hating Kevin Smith.
No, and see, I would never accuse you of hating Kevin Smith because I know for a fact that you like some Kevin Smith movies. However, that brings us to number 4. Saw V.
No, Changeling.
Changeling. Oh, that's right. It's not Saw V.
Saw is like number 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Changeling.
No, Changeling is still here.
$20.6 million so far. Made $7.3 million this past weekend. So, yeah, still up in there.
You know, it's really good to know that so many people have paid to get a good night's sleep or at least 2.5 hours of sleep.
I don't dislike this movie as much as you did, but I do have to admit there are moments that are very slow in this movie. And I actually like the movie more than you do.
Because you're more lenient on Clint Eastwood.
On Clint Eastwood. Now, there you go. Now, if he was an animated Clint Eastwood, look out.
Oh, my God. You would love that film. Holy
I would
shit.
love it.
You'd be on your knees blowing that film as we speak.
If it was
whatever film.
I love this cartoon Clint Eastwood. And he has candy corn coming out of his penis. It would be wonderful. I
love the candy corn.
Again, Clint Eastwood, one of those people I'm a huge fan of, but Changeling,
awesome.
Hey, you know something?
No, I don't know something.
This will be a good. I'm going to say what I'm about to say right now.
Good.
For an email later. But Changeling, Clint Eastwood movie. I can definitely say, though, I thought at first, like, man, I bet this is going to be, like, up there with some of the Oscar stuff. And then in retrospect, I was saying, you know why I'm saying this? Because this has been a lame Oscar season. And this is not that good of a movie for that.
It's not been a lame Oscar season. They've held the Oscar films.
Are they still holding those? That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, we've got stuff coming. And the thing is, and here's the weird thing, and this is something we'll be talking about more and more over the next year. So many big and good films have been pushed to next year because the studios don't have anything because of the writer's strike and then because of this silent actor strike that's been going on.
Yeah.
This weird thing that nobody's talking about, nobody's writing about, in which nobody's fucking making movies. This is a really weird time. So all these releases are being shuffled to next year. They've got good films that are done, and they're just like, you know what? I think we'll wait till next year to release it. I think what we're gonna see is a very late Oscar season this year. But
I was talking about the movie with Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr. What is that movie? You know which one I'm talking about.
I do, and I'm blanking on the title.
And it was supposed to be released in December.
Yeah, it was another one that got pushed back.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there's The Road, which got pushed back.
Oh, that's right. The McCormick movie.
Defiance, the Daniel Craig movie with the guys in the the
World War II movie.
Yeah, the World War II Hiding the Jews movie that got pushed back.
There is a movie that's coming out that might be Oscar worthy. Doubt with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Meryl Streep.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll get Oscar buzz whether it's good or not. That's how Philip Seymour Hoffman films work nowadays.
You think so?
Dude, everything he does, it's Oscar buzz. Oscar buzz.
You think it'll be the same with Schenectady?
Schenectady, New York. Well, Schenectady is.
Is it Schenectady? Because they spell it Schenectady, but there is a place called Schenectady, New York.
It's Schenectady, New York, and that's how it's spelled. And Schenectady, I keep in mind that the East Coast has all this, huge immigrant populations, and so many things got named.
So that's one
using other languages, and
so you think Schenectady is going to be that the kind of Oscar buzz? Philip Seymour Hoffman, Charlie Kaufman
I think it's going to get buzz simply based on the screenplay, but I don't think it's going to carry through because while I'm hearing some critics go, "Oh, it's genius, it's wonderful," everyone I talk to is like, "It's the most pretentious piece of shit I have ever seen."
I would tell you that.
I know. I remember I missed the screening of that, and I'm like, "Oh crap!" And then one of my buddies twittered, he's like, "Just got out of Schenectady, New York." Boy, was it a big piece of shit. And it's like, this is a guy who's like really kind of lenient on this kind of stuff. And this is right up his alley. And for him to call it pompous and pretentious was kind of like, ooh, I don't know.
Self-indulgent, man. I was actually really bored. I'd say I'd be fair to give the movie, because it is different. And it is something I think you will see different things in every time you see it. But it's like, I'd have to wait for this just to be on TV because I would not submit myself to it again. Yeah. So anyway.
But that brings us to number 3, an appropriate number 3.
Oh, High School Musical 3, senior year, which is really got Oscar buzz behind it this year.
High School the Musical 3 is the herpes of top 5 movies. It just won't fucking go away no matter how hard you try. It's here to stay.
But you know what?
You could put creams on it. You could take your Valtrex every day. High School the Musical 3 will still be here
It'll
next
be
week.
There. Yeah.
It's just oh my God. It's
like a zit, man.
It's like glitter.
You pop it and then you still up with a scar that takes weeks and months for it to fade.
But see, a zit will go away. Glitter is forever.
What? What's the
glitter? Have you ever gotten a piece of glitter on you?
What, like? Oh, you're talking about like you hugged a girl at the end of the night and it's got glitter all over you?
Okay, don't say you could say that it was a stripper. let's be honest.
Now, no, let's really be honest. You know I don't like strip joints. It was a hooker.
And you know that strippers don't use glitter and body spray anymore for just that reason. Too many guys are getting busted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they finally stop this shit?
That's why strippers don't smell the same anymore. That's a product of our generation, my man. Strippers with body spray and glitter. So, High School the Musical 3. What the fuck you got to say? You know what? I'll
you call it High School the Musical. I think it's called High School Musical.
High School Musical. Do I look like I'm young enough to care?
It looks like you like it and you're trying to throw this little ploy in there. High School the Musical. I misname it because I don't watch it.
You know what? I'll tell you though, man. I was at Target tonight and I was wandering around the home section and I found I wandered into the Disney aisle they have there where it's all the stuff for the little girls' rooms.
I like the way you say I just wondered.
No. I was in the honestly, it's the most boring thing ever. I'm wandering through towels and I'm looking at getting new bath towels and I turn a corner looking because it's like, the crap towels, the better towels, the best towels. I'm like, the really good towels are around no, this is the Disney corner. And I turn around to leave and I see a High School Musical waste paper basket. And it's a big picture of Zac Efron smiling at me. And I'm like,
which of my gay friends would like this?
No, there was part of me that wanted to buy it and put it by my computer so that I could toss my jizz napkins into it. Because here you go, Zach. And I thought, how awesome would that be?
I would not admit that to anybody. That could be read so many different ways.
Yes, it can. And that's the beauty of it. It's just, what's that? That's my Zac Efron jizz bucket.
Again, you'd be better off giving it to your gay friends for them to put their jizz towels into. But I
just love the idea of it. It's like, that's just.
You cannot do this as a joke. I don't ever want to come to your place and see a High School Musical trash can.
Well, see, the thing is, you turn it around and there's Vanessa Hudgens. So it's like.
It's not enough. Unless that bitch is naked and bending over. No, it is not. So do you really believe Zac Efron's gay?
You know what?
I don't know.
What has 2 thumbs and doesn't give a shit? This guy.
All right. So that brings us up to
number two.
Role models, which you were definitely not.
Yeah, no, I am. Me and Charles Barkley, baby. I am not a role model.
I'm not a role model. Fuck yous.
Hello, 1995.
$19.2 million.
19.2? Excellent. No,
Yeah, it did
I'm
well.
very happy to see that duo. That movie was funny as fuck.
Mm-hmm. No,
I was playing 40K on Thursday. I was at my Thursday night gaming, and somebody was making a joke about that movie and go, "Oh God, that's gonna be another stupid fucking movie." I said, "Who the fuck is talking shit about role models before they've seen it?" And it's like,
Well, you got shot.
He was like, "Well, it could be good," and I'm like, "No, I've seen it." And they're like, "How is it?" It's fucking funny as shit. Dude, the last third of the movie takes place at a LARP, and like everybody in the room said, "What?"
Oh,
And
I was
they
about to
started
say,
laughing.
these nerds you hang out with, they're going to
Oh yeah,
love
no,
this.
they knew exactly what a LARP was, and they were like, "Oh my God, we have to see this." And so the next day they all went and saw it, and all fucking loved it because it's fucking funny as shit. If you have not seen Role Models yet, dude, it's funny. See it.
Yeah, no, we all agreed it was funny. We all gave it kind of different ratings, but we all agreed it is funny. I laughed really hard at a lot of things in that movie. Yeah, Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott. Sean William Scott needed a hit too, man. I mean, what was the last thing he did that really did well? I mean, the guy has movies coming out on DVD that never got released.
Well, yeah, but there's issues with that, and apparently that's supposed to be funny as hell as well. The that new one that he's got that he shot. You had somebody, a family member in it or something.
Yeah,
like that.
nephew, Gary, the tennis coach.
Yeah, there are people who have seen it. Like it's floating around online, and people say it's really fucking funny.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that it's not
funny. There was
funny.
a guy who came to a Halloween party I was at dressed as Gary the tennis coach.
Well, why would he show up knowing nobody knows what this shit is?
Because he's Fitz.
Well,
You know Fitz, right?
Fitz, refresh me.
You would, if you saw him, you'd know him. He's a local guy. He's a cool, weird cat that dates a friend of mine, and he's the
Fitz. That fucking the guy with the accent.
The guy with the curly hair. He's
Okay,
anyhow.
he's dressed up as Gary the
nobody
tennis
listening
coach.
to this
I
cares.
didn't
He's
see.
dressed up as Gary the tennis coach, and a few people saw him and go, "Oh my God, you're Gary the tennis coach!" And yeah, you've seen it. And they went on about how much they love the movie. I don't even know, but Role Models, I know, fucking funny.
Yeah, well, good for everybody involved.
Which brings us to the most unfortunate number one.
Unfortunate?
Dude, did this movie really deserve to make $60-some-odd million this weekend?
I can't even say that I think it deserves because I knew it was going to do that well.
I knew it was going to do well. I didn't think it was going to do gangbusters well like that.
You didn't?
No, especially not with the way the kids' movies have been doing lately. I mean, that just I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to do that well.
Madagascar was a huge hit.
Yeah,
and we
it was.
all even said we were surprised at how good it did, at how well it did. I mean, and so I just knew that this was. You know what? I'm surprised it didn't make more than this. I thought it was going to make about $70 million. It made $63.1 million this weekend. A huge number for that movie. I thought it was going to make more, but yeah. I mean, no big surprise. Sequel to Madagascar.
Yeah,
And
it came, and now it can go.
DreamWorks.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
and I have
a came and went movie.
And it's still going to be around like High School Musical 3. It's going to be hard to shake this one out.
It might.
I mean, it's huge, man. And this isn't me. This isn't my animation bias.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a Disney film coming up to shake it out.
Oh, well, yeah.
Bolt. And
yeah.
Bolt looks really good.
And Bolt's in a couple of weeks, right? Yeah, for the
it's
21st.
like a week or two.
Oh, yeah,
2
Bolt's
weeks.
going to definitely come in.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen 15 minutes of it, and that movie that's a funny movie.
Yeah, no, we all saw that 15 minutes of it.
No. You guys saw about 6 or 7 minutes of it. I saw a whole separate presentation with extra scenes.
That part that we saw in the theater was funny, man. I'm looking forward to it. I
Well,
mean, I wasn't even
the
thinking
thing
it was
is,
gonna be
that wasn't even my favorite material. The stuff you guys haven't seen yet is Bolt's actual TV show.
Oh, I saw that.
Well, no, you saw the beginning of that, but
No, they showed that at Comic-Con.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah,
okay. Then
yeah.
you saw that stuff. That stuff's great.
That's where I first thought, like, oh, man, it's not so bad. 'Cause I almost walked out of that.
All the Michael Bay stuff and
Yeah,
and the
that's-
motorcycle fight and it's fucking Good stuff, man.
It looks like it's going to be really funny.
Can I say fucking more tonight? I am.
No, because we're
on
not
an
even at the
F-bomb
top
roll.
5. You got a lot more to go. It's gonna be a lot more fucking going on besides this.
I don't know about that, dude. It's just you and me in here. I don't. I
didn't
like
say-
you, Corey. I don't like you.
As long
though.
as you don't use that word as I want to blank you, Corey, then that will
Hey,
have
you
a
know,
problem.
we could. This could be our homage to Soul Men. We could just say motherfucker all night.
Oh man, it should be
Motherfucker.
called motherfucking grumpy old man.
Grumpy old motherfuckers is what it should be called. You grumpy old motherfucker.
That movie.
We didn't even get to review that. I was very depressed. I emailed you and you never emailed me back.
I left town that Wednesday, and I actually left earlier than I thought I was going to be leaving. So
Yeah.
so I
we
really
could
did want to record.
We
that.
could actually give a little review right now, here in the middle of a couple of cold ones.
Okay, let's go ahead. Why not? Yeah, but yes.
This movie-
last movie of Bernie Mac and Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, and it was not a very good movie.
But did you not enjoy it though?
No, but that's the thing. The thing is as a movie, the story, the plot, the jokes, not very good. Every time they put the camera in one place and let Bernie Mac and Sam Jackson play off each other, that
Yes.
shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
I was what is so depressing about watching this movie is they are so good together. They should have been the new Mathau and Lemon.
Yes.
That should have been that comedy team that people said, wow, they were really great together. If only they had a real script. Can we get them a real script to watch these two play off each other and be funny as hell? Because, God, they were funny. Rim job, baby. Rim job.
And that was at the beginning of the movie. Every
That
time
was-
him
yeah.
and Samuel Jackson, they were so good together, man.
My favorite line of the movie wasn't theirs, but it was about, they sure do say motherfucker a lot, but they're really nice
But
guys.
they followed up with them because you know that line was so funny because you were thinking that yourself. Wow,
Yeah.
they say motherfucker a lot in this movie. And
They
then that
a
guy said-
lot of motherfuckers.
And there were some scenes in there that were just totally ridiculous that made me laugh. The Lester, the court jester, the rapper, when he's like just saying, "Yeah, man," because for people who haven't seen the movie, there's that scene where Lester comes in and they're saying, "Hey, do you know you got that sample from Samuel Jackson here? That's his bass line." He's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I stole your bass line. Hey, let's record a song together called I Don't Give a Fuck About Your Bass Line." And stumps on the record. I'm Lester, the court and the jester. What? And I was like, man, I thought the movie was hilarious.
The thing
but
is,
for the wrong reasons. For the right reasons. Only for
For the
them.
right, no. The thing is it's a bad movie that I want to tell people to go and see simply because it's worth seeing it for the performances and it's worth seeing it for the comedy between those two because you will laugh. They will make you laugh. Those two are so fucking funny together. When they're smacking each other around early on in the movie, it is so goddamn funny. And the thing is neither of them are doing anything new. I mean, Sam Jackson is playing as, "Oh, you motherfucker! I am so." He's playing the educated, angry black man, and Bernie Mac, and he's doing stuff that's borderline like old school. Like the eyes bugging out, and whoa, 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 and playing the it's you know what? I'm not even going to try to do the impression, but
no, because you're like, whoa,
you know what Bernie
They even
Mac
had
does.
that scene where it seemed like Bernie Mac was really mad. I wonder if he knew the camera was on because he's out in the hallway like, it just let him rant. Motherfucker, come here talking to me like that, talking that shit to me, talking to motherfucking me like that.
And that's so Bernie Mac. But the thing is those. But you put those two together, and it's a whole different scenario. All of a sudden, they get each other on a genetic level. Their comedy is just perfectly timed. These two just nail it. And they take – this movie's so fucking cliched, but they make cliched jokes work.
Yeah, I would – look, we have already said it's a bad movie, but if I had paid to see this, I would not feel disappointed. That's why I would give it a matinee.
No. And, dude, and that thing at the end where they did the little –
tribute to Bernie Mac.
Tribute documentary, and they've got this great little sequence where it's all this EPK stuff of him talking about what it is to be a comedian and what he owes the audience, and it's just like kind of getting to you in the gut, and you see him do some stand up for the crowd that's there, extras, and they have to practically pull him off stage. It's like, dude, that's cool. And then they show pictures of Bernie Mac with Isaac Hayes, and they're playing Isaac Hayes' version of Never Can Say Goodbye.
Yeah,
I started tearing up like a bitch. It was just like, oh man, this is the last time I'm going to see these guys.
Okay. I was strong for everybody.
These guys were awesome.
I was in there fanning you. It's okay. Carl.
Oh, Lord. Why'd you have to take it from me? No. Give it back, Isaac Hayes.
It's okay, Carla. That's okay.
He's a bad mother.
You were the fat black woman in church.
That's right.
Hey, look. This is not a joke, because I know I always joke saying black people love this and that. This is a movie that black people will get and laugh at.
But the thing is it's a black movie that white audiences will fucking laugh at. That's the thing, is that there's a lot of black humor in there, but it's black humor that actually translates. That's what I think works so well. This is that great. It was a great crossover duo, and it's something that we'll never see those two in the movie they belong in together.
Yeah,
because they needed a script that was on par with something like Grumpy Old Men, something that connected with audiences, something that had a little something to it, not just let's put two guys on a road trip. Why? Because one of them doesn't like to fly. All right, B.A. Baracus.
Exactly, yeah. A Rain Man or whatever.
I pity the fool. That put me on a plane.
I love that whole device of I'm scared to fly. I mean,
he didn't even say he's scared to fly. He said,
like,
I don't like planes. It's like, really? So now we're going to have to drive across country, and I bet the car's going to break down. I wonder if you're going to end up sleeping with someone who steals your money. Will you guys end up in jail? Gee, big surprise.
Every little cliche of a road trip movie's in there, man. How many road trip movies have we seen where people end up in jail?
This year.
Like
there's been
Sex Drive recently.
And then, you haven't seen Fanboys yet. Fanboys also.
I did see Fanboys. I was there that night.
Fanboys.
Fanboys is another, yes.
Wieners.
Don't even
it was something both me and Cyrus had to see.
Wieners.
Yeah, it was a really bad independent road trip movie where they drive across country in a Wienermobile handing out hot dogs.
I think we can. Okay.
I'm serious. I'm not shitting.
I still don't want to see it.
Nobody look that up, please. If you look it up, look up Cyrus's review, and he'll pretty much.
Don't look up Wieners because
he's got a review on the site where he talks about how unspeakably god awful it is, because it's pretty unspeakably god awful. So
and if you look up Wieners, you probably get pictures of penises and all that kind of shit.
Well, if you type in Corey Wieners.
Definitely, you will get that.
Yeah, Red Troll's out there typing it in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to be pissed at me for saying that.
Why not?
I'm going to get an angry PM.
Yeah, you mentioned her name, not me. I just went with it. So I think we can officially say the whole thing of a road trip movie where they go to jail at some point, done. We don't need that anymore.
And it's not even done cleverly this time. That's the thing.
In this movie,
it's like because at least in the other ones there are good reasons for it and it's amusing, and in this one it's just like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's worth seeing it because watching Bernie Mac and Sam Jackson break out of jail is fucking funny.
Look, anytime those guys on screen together,
see that?
Was funny.
I'm a hostage.
Yes, right. Yeah, but man, I'm a hostage. Yeah, so I would recommend the movie, but only with the caveat of that this is not a good movie at all.
But the thing is it's for you spilios out there, you guys who those of you who appreciate performances and who know of the comedy genius of Sam Jackson and Bernie Mac. This movie was for you guys.
Comedy stylings of. What would you give it then? You
know what? I would say it's a strong rental. Okay. I can't. I mean, I would go and see it at a matinee, but I can't tell anyone a matinee because really, the writing and direction here, it's really piss poor weak. But literally, whenever the camera is just on those two, it's so worth it.
I was about to give up on the movie, and I was really shaking my head. And I don't know where it happened when those guys got on the road. I really started laughing hard, and I'm like, "This
rim job, baby, rim job." That bit had me in stitches so hard. I've been quoting that for a week now.
Just don't look at me when you
come
say
in
that.
for Super Soul Sundays and get your rim job for free. Rim job, baby, rim job.
I've never had one, but so
you've never been to Super Soul Sundays?
No, I don't plan on going.
You don't get your car washed and waxed?
Brother Bernie's gone now, so I won't get my Bernie Mac rim job.
No Bernie Mac rim job.
No, not for me. So, hey, Captain America. What about that, man? I love The Rocketeer.
I love The Rocketeer too, and I loved The Rocketeer when it came out 15 years ago. Joe Johnston, everybody keeps pointing to The Rocketeer, but Joe Johnston doesn't have a career filled with really awesome movies.
No, when I have to admit this. Rocketeer, And by the way, I'm kind of angry about that. I have been laughed at for talking about how much I love The Rocketeer for years, and now it's all of a sudden getting all this love.
No, Rocketeer's always gotten love. The thing is who's giving it love. The thing is, for years you've gotten laughed at, but for years comic book culture was forced into the closet, and it was embarrassing for an adult to admit that he was a comic book fan. Now it's with as huge a hit as these comic book movies are, everybody admits they're a comic book. Douchebags in high school playing football, like, oh yeah, I read Superman and Spider-Man. I know the comic books. I'm hip. It's like, no.
The movie itself, I could see why, and because it didn't do that well when it came out.
No.
It wasn't a big property. The Rocketeer was not a superhero anybody knew anything about.
No.
It was a good comic, though. And looking at the movie, I was like, they did a really good job with this as a film. It's a really great adventure film. And so, but Joe Johnston, you're right. When they said Captain America, I was like, well, I'll look and see, but it didn't really jump out at me like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's not someone I'm particularly excited about, but I'm not turned off either. It's not somebody that it's like, this guy does, period. Right now, he picked up the reins for Mark Romanek, and he's shooting Mark Romanek's version of The Wolfman, and that could be awesome.
You know something, though? I'm really not impressed with the stuff I've seen with The Wolfman. I've given it a chance. I'm just saying what I've seen, or maybe it's because we were talking about this. Jamie and I were talking about this today at Comic-Con. They brought Benicio del Toro out and whoever his co-star is, the actress, and that fucker was drunk, or high, or tweaking, or something. He did not sell that film at all.
Well, the thing is keep in mind at Comic-Con they hadn't even shot a frame yet. I mean, they didn't start shooting till August.
What do you mean they did? They did shoot. I mean, they had the movie pretty much done. They showed us a whole like a 10-minute scene from the movie. I mean, it gave a presentation.
I thought they were shooting in August.
Man, they had no. They
or were they shooting up until August? Is that what I'm confused?
Maybe that's why he came out confused because we saw something.
They showed you something?
We saw a lot of shit from that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I guess they were finishing up in August. I guess that's what it was. They wanted it in the can by there was a whole.
In fact, they showed him as the Wolfman.
Joe Johnston took over for Mark Romanek, and this was Mark Romanek's big follow-up film. And there was a whole big.
That's why. Yeah, I remember he left the movie.
Well, and he left, and there was a whole big issue because effectively, the whole story hasn't really come out. But effectively, what happened was Romanek needed some work done on the film. Something needed to be changed. He wasn't happy with a certain segment of the film. Universal just wanted him to cut it. They're like, look, just cut it. And he's like, no, it has to be rewritten. Well, we've got a writer's strike on. You can't rewrite it. And so they wanted to save money. And they're like, look, just cut it. And he's like, look, the film isn't the film that I want without these scenes. We've got to fix them. And rather than shuffling those scenes to the end of shooting and hoping that the writer's strike ended, he got into a big fight with them and ended up either leaving or getting fired. And then they brought in Joe Johnston to shoot everything that he'd set up. Okay,
maybe I said it just doesn't look. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look like wow.
I would never ever in a million years think Joe Johnston could step in for Mark Romanek. I mean, Joe Johnston is a shooter, and he shoots fun genre
and Mark
stuff.
Romanek is.
Mark Romanek is, well, people know him as 1 Hour Photo, but where you really need to see Mark Romanek's work is in his video collection. He did a bunch of really inventive Nine Inch Nails videos back in the 90s and a bunch of other stuff. He's just a visual genius.
I love 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah, no, 1 Hour Photo is great. He did the Perfect Drug video that's just so fucking surreal. And that guy was supposed to do Wolfman. So I have no clue. I'm just saying he does, period, and he does get that kind of stuff, but it's just not an exciting choice.
Yeah, it didn't really leap out as somebody who will actually just. It seemed like judging from what Joe Johnston has done, it's going to be made as if it's tailor-made for a blockbuster. Nothing really new or visionary is going to be brought to it like we had with somebody. Like I don't expect another Christopher Nolan to come in and do a Captain America movie, but
he might get it. He might. I mean, he is in love with that time period. With the right script, I think Joe Johnston can do it. I mean, Joe Johnston did direct the one good Jurassic Park movie.
Thank you. I keep telling people that's the only one that made sense to me and was actually any good.
Because he got it. It was a monster movie. He wasn't straddling the line like Spielberg was. Spielberg was trying to make both a kids movie and an adult horror film at the same time. Joe Johnston just said, make it a fucking monster movie. Run through the jungle and have them chased by dinosaurs.
They didn't have to do anything.
Dinosaurs fight.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I just don't want it to come out feeling so much like a generic studio film.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, that's what I'm worried about too, but we'll see what happens.
But I'm going to be fair.
With the right script, Joe Johnston could be great and could do that film that we needed to see.
But even as much as I like The Rocketeer, I don't want to see Captain America be another Rocketeer. I don't even want to see it be that pure. I want to see it be kind of dirty. I mean,
I would like that too. I'm really curious to see how they're gonna play that. If it's gonna be the purity or if it's gonna be the bravado, ball swinging, 1942 American kicking ass in Germany.
That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean, it's a guy running around in a red, white, and blue outfit with a big fucking shield. I mean, that's a corny fucking image for me.
Yes,
You're gonna have to make him kick ass for that to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to see it be real hokey or real too steeped into. We're actually trying to make a nostalgic World War II movie. I want to, make it edgy.
Yeah.
From what you're telling me, maybe that's why Benicio del Toro came out drunk. Maybe he knew that it wasn't looking that good. He's like, I'm going to talk about this movie.
Or maybe he was at a convention and just got drunk.
He got drunk. They asked that fucker a question. They said, so how do you go about playing the Wolfman? You run.
Dude, that's fucking. See, the thing is nobody. I'm the only one that's going to get the humor of that because there's this expression you just made, this ready to pounce expression. The I'm coming to get you.
Well, you can hear me asking Jamie over the recording, is he fucked up right now? We were like, he ain't saying shit about this movie that's worth anything. Just give him another drink, man. Let him sit up there and sing a song or something. That'd be funnier. But
what he needed was you to play off of, because with beer and Corey, everything.
Shit, I am the Wolfman.
Well, I've seen that. You threw a chair at us. No. You still don't remember the chair incident. You threw a fucking chair.
I threw a chair. Where was I when I threw this chair?
At Austin
Access
ACC.
Cable. Yeah. I threw a chair at you guys.
Yeah. Well, not at us. You threw it at the wall.
Okay, now see that's different. Now I didn't throw a chair at you. I threw it at the wall. I wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
No, you threw a chair.
Of course, at the time I was in mid-level change too from the Wolfman, so I probably don't remember what happened.
You were pretty fucking insane. You were forced you were forced in another room where you could not touch the camera equipment, and you could not.
What the fuck?
Do you not remember this day at all?
Who took me into another room?
No, you remember when we decided we were going to shoot the show with all five of us in the same room rather than being in two separate rooms like we did it for years, and we were all sitting there, and George was in the control room with I do remember Ben
that.
Hoffenpfeffer.
Yeah, with Klaus.
And you lost your damn fool mind and you threw a chair.
Okay, I mean, I'm not denying that it happened. In fact, I'm not denying anything. I'm sure it did. I just wish I could remember. I did a lot of crazy shit.
Well, we
back
all
then.
remember that because whenever somebody feels like going nuts on you, the rest of us pull them aside and go, "Now wait a second. You do remember this is a motherfucker that threw a chair?" And then everybody laughs. He goes, "Yeah."
Well, I haven't thrown chairs in years.
Nope.
I don't think I've thrown a chair since.
Still that guy though.
Man, I haven't lost my
mind. Still the guy that threw that chair.
That guy.
You could.
I've controlled
you could be
that
defeated
guy.
by the Red Skull and frozen for 60 years in ice. You'll wake up and throw a chair. That's the Corey Coleman superhero I want to see. The guy who carries a chair on his back and flings a chair at bad guys.
It's a boomerang
bing,
chair.
Bing. Don't mess with him. Why?
Corey
He got a
Coleman
chair.
throws his mighty chair. No, man. Damn. Hey, look. I apologize. I'm sure it happened. I'm sure it did. I could have been drunk at the time when it happened. I don't remember. You know how it was back then.
I think that might have been the case.
I know how it was back then. I had a lot of pressure.
Most of it in a 12-ounce can.
And you know how it comes out when you open it. All right. So what else is going on this week?
I don't fucking know. You always have things set up. You're like,
No, I
okay,
do.
we're moving here, and then you're like, what else?
I do have something here.
Good. Yeah, you had an email, right?
I do. I have an email ready. It's a good email because it's usually the other way around, this question for me. But I was thinking, and it's a hard one. I couldn't think of anything this guy was asking. And what he's asking is, this is from Mason Daniel. And he says,
Mason Daniel. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like someone who should have the third after his name. This is Mason Daniels the third.
It does, Esquire. Okay, and you know what, Mason? I'll answer your question, but that was not the question I want to.
Damn it, Jim. Well, what's his question? Ask his question real quick.
Okay, all right.
And then you can, while I'm answering that question, you can move on and find the email you really wanted.
If I could even find that one again, I lost it. But basically, he asked, what are some of your favorite villains in movies for the evil deeds they've done? And I thought that was an interesting question because most of the people that I've seen as really evil in movies, besides Nazis, which I think make great villains because I hate them, I remember watching Sling Blade, and I have never really hated a character as much as him in a long time. Dwight Yoakam in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he can count as a villain in that film. For people who haven't seen Sling Blade, Dwight Yoakam plays an abusive boyfriend to this kid's mother. In fact, is this Lucas Black that was in the movie? Nobody remembers that kid. He's grown up now. I think he was in Friday Night Lights, the movie, not the TV show. But he was a little kid in Sling Blade, and his mom is going out with this boyfriend played by Dwight Yoakam, and the guy's abusive to the mother. The guy's abusive to the kid by yelling at him all the time, and he talks to a Billy Bob Thornton character who is mentally retarded in the movie. He talks to him really bad until Billy Bob Thornton says, "I had enough of this shit. Now I won't ruin any more from there." But I thought he was great in that movie. I thought he was really, really, really despicable.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in a completely opposite direction. And one of my favorite villains of all time is Hans Gruber, played by from Die Hard, played by Alan Rickman.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always loved him because he's an evil fucker. I mean, he really is. I mean, he shoots Nakatomi in the head. He's willing to kill all these people just for some money. But the whole time, he just seems so annoyed. He doesn't hate McClane, and he's not like, "Oh, I'm going to get that motherfucker." He doesn't come from from that. He's like always annoyed. He's like, Hans, go to the roof and kill this motherfucker for me. He's just always, every time John McClane gets him, he's just like, it's pissing him off. And it's like, dude, this motherfucker is getting in my shit.
Because they had it so planned, they never counted on that guy being there.
Yeah, and it's cop. And I just love how annoyed he is and how greasy he is, but how he's so good and so educated. And one of my favorite lines from the movie is like he goes and they ask for his demands, and he's like, "And I want you to release these such and such from the prison in Tibet." And one of the guys looks at him like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I read about it in Time."
Yeah. No, he was a great villain. I didn't hate him, but I really thought he was just so cool.
Alan Rickman had these 3 movies in a row where he played villains, and it was so great.
Was Robin Hood one of them?
Robin Hood was one of them, where he played the Sheriff of Nottingham,
Yeah.
and then Quigley Down Under, where he plays that guy that wants to. Oh, dude! If you love westerns, you got to see Quigley Down Under.
No, I've heard it's great. I just haven't seen it.
It's a great underrated western, and Alan Rickman plays this guy who really wants to be a gunslinger. And he just worships the whole notion of the gunslinger and is so excited to be down in the old west of Australia where he can be a gunslinger. And he hires Quigley to go and take care of this Aborigine problem he has. And Quigley has to go and kill these Aborigines for him. And when he realizes what he's there for, he gains the enmity of, this guy who hired him because he didn't want to kill Aborigines. And so, no, he's just so great at being despicable. I love Alan Rickman so much.
I got to see that movie. I'd like to check that out.
And those 3 performances all together are like my favorite string of villains of all time. He was just so good at playing really nuanced, well-developed villains that weren't cartoony at all. They did what they were supposed to do, and they were iconic, but he always seemed so annoyed by the people working beneath him, like a true boss. It was really cool.
I've heard great things about Quigley Down Under. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I really don't like that movie, and I thought that was below Alan Rickman because he was playing at that point he had been labeled as the European villain.
Yeah.
And he was just doing the same
Dude,
thing in
that
movie.
scene where, that great scene at the end where he's like having the black mass with Maid Marian, and he's like, he does that maneuver where he gets up on top of her and spreads the legs with his feet.
I have seen that movie only twice. And
I haven't seen it in well over a decade, but I remember that move because it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, this guy was, dude, he was so over the top. It was great. I love that guy.
Here's a good question. This is the question that I want to get
Here's the question you wanted.
Bad movies. And this is from, I don't even know if I should try and read this. ITK, he got all of them mixed up in caps and lowercase. ZMax. Okay, I ain't going to read this shit. Anyway, have you ever seen a movie that you liked at first, but every time you watch it, you begin to hate it more and more? I see movies that I don't like and I begin to like more and more, but it's harder the other way around. You have any? Can you name any?
Well, I've got lots, but it all. I mean, there's a couple different phenomena you're talking about. There's the one where you really like a movie, and then for some reason you start not liking it. You see it a couple more times, and it just wears out on you. There's the one where you really like a movie, and then somebody says something that ruins it for you, and then you can never watch it the same again. You fucking hate it afterwards. And then there's the movies you loved as a kid that you watch again as an adult and don't hold up. Like
I was trying to avoid that.
Because The Barbarians is that one for me. That's the infamous one where when I was 10 years old, The Barbarians was the coolest fucking movie on the planet. It starred the Barbarian brothers, those wrestlers, and it was Conan. It was a Conan movie. It was so fucking cool. And I went to Blockbuster every week, and I could rent anything in the store, and I rented that same motherfucking movie every week, and my parents would never watch it with me, and I never understood why. And I watched this movie over and over again, and then I was working in a video store. I was about 25 years old, and I pulled it out, and I said, The Barbarians. Oh, my God, I haven't seen this since I was a kid. I got to watch this. And it's the worst fucking piece of shit I have ever seen.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, man. But no, a great example is the Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Not the Incredible Hulk.
But the Ang Lee Hulk.
The Ang Lee Hulk. Loved it the first time I saw it. Loved it. And then everybody was complaining about it, and I went back and watched it again and said, I still like this movie. I see what they're talking about. And I sat down to watch it a third time, and I'm like, wow, I still don't like this movie anymore. And I won't watch the Hulk ever again. I won't watch any of these. I loved it the first time. I really did. But by the third time, I did not want to watch that movie again. And yeah, no, I've definitely got movies like that. The Hulk is the one that really stands out, though.
Okay, that was a good thing that you named there. A movie from your childhood that you saw, and then a movie that you've seen as an adult. And you're like, if I was to say a movie from my childhood, I remember recording just late one night a movie called I couldn't remember the name of it, but I recorded this movie. It had stop motion monsters, and it was and they were attacking these people who was trapped in the forest. And I recorded that, and I recorded over it like maybe a year later or something. But I used to watch it probably about once a month because I was really into stop motion at the time and everything. And since I recorded over it, I can never remember the name of that movie. Now, one weekend, I'm at a video store somewhere, and I see a cover on a DVD set, and it looks like one of those monsters from the movie. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, shit, that's the movie. And the movie was called Equinox. And before I bought it, I looked it up, and I was like, that is the movie. So I rushed over to Fry's to get the DVD box set, brought it home. It was the dullest shit I've ever seen. I was angry because I spent money on this shit because I probably will hardly ever watch this thing. I might watch it one more time and then sell it. I don't know. But it was cool to watch, though, nevertheless, because you might remember the names. I can't remember right now. The only name I remember is Rick Baker, the special effects genius right now. He actually helped out with the movie. In the movie, I'm going to keep this movie. It's a good little history keepsake. But some of the people who were responsible for Star Wars were involved. And they were all teenagers when they made it. And somehow it got released as a late night monster movie. And it's kind of cool looking, but it's so dull. It's not as cool as when I thought it was a kid. The other movie that I remember watching that I don't like that much anymore is, and people gonna laugh at me, is The Patriot. I saw The Patriot for the first time. I thought it was really cool. I wasn't bored. I was watching it, and then I saw it again. And people even told me, I said, man, that movie's dumb. And I was like, look, okay, it's one of those movies I'm just going to defend. I like it. And then I saw it, and I was like, wow, that scene with all the black people on the beach really is kind of like the Ewok village. And so a lot of this stuff really is cheesy. And I was like, you know what? I only like this movie because of the battle scenes. And there's not a whole lot of that going on.
Isn't.
And so, yeah, laugh at me, people. I like The Patriot when I first saw it.
But it stars the Joker.
Heath Ledger, he died in the movie.
Now
that was a really hokey death scene too.
Yeah. Now that leads me to a question. What's your favorite thing you ever accidentally recorded? I don't know if people really do that anymore. I guess people with TiVo might have that kind of stuff happen.
I can tell you
stuff. But you remember back in the day when you would set your VCR and just record something because you really want to watch something, and then you'd accidentally record something else, and you're like, "What is this?" What's your favorite thing?
I can tell you, I don't know if it was my favorite thing, but I can tell you something cool that I stumbled across and recorded. And I did it just like you said. I didn't want to stay up late. I wanted to watch it the next night. They had a show that used to come on the Nashville channel or the Country Music Network or something. It was called Phantom of the Opry. And it was a guy who, since it was on the Country Channel, they just did a monster movie show at night. And that's where I looked in the paper, was just looking at names of shows, and they showed Little Shop of Horrors. And I was like, oh, that sounds funny. That sounds really cool. That sounds horrifying.
Now, are we talking, this is the old classic Roger Corman one.
Exactly. And I remember watching, I was like, this is not as scary as I thought it was, but it sure is funny.
It's a cool, freaky flick, too.
Yeah.
And it's the very first performance by Jack Nicholson.
Exactly, yeah. So I had that recorded on tape for a long time and would show it to friends. What's yours?
Mine was a 70s exploitation kung fu movie from the Bruce Lee era. Remember when Bruce Lee died? And all of a sudden there were all these other Bruce Lees.
Yeah. The whole rip-off era.
The whole rip-off Lee era.
Yeah,
This was one of those. It was called Soul Brothers of Kung Fu. And it was awesome. It was literally one of those where he did the magical finger thing where he'd stick the finger into people and then you'd see like the x-ray of the finger going into the body and the thump, 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 and the person would
die.
Like
the Story of Ricky type thing when they showed the bones breaking and stuff. Like
except it was so much cheesier than that, but it was literally about this Bruce Lee character who hooks up with a black guy and fights a black Soul Brothers of Kung Fu.
I have got to try to find this.
It was one of those things where it was literally they were playing it back to back with American Ninja, and I was recording American Ninja.
I remember American Ninja.
Dude, Michael Dudikoff was the man back in like
that's his name, Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah. I met him once when I was a kid, dude. He was fucking awesome, man. He was Michael
working
Dudikoff.
Shopping carts at the grocery store. What was he?
No, now maybe, but. No, he was at a celebrity tennis tournament. It's
really?
Like, holy shit, it's Michael Dudikoff. And nobody else cared because, nobody else was 12.
There's little Carlisle. They're like, hey.
There's little Carlisle going, you're Michael Dudikoff. You're the American Ninja.
You're Michael Dudikoff. What's the name of the movie? Soul Brothers of
Soul Brothers of Kung Fu.
I have to find this. I'm going to make sure I write that down before you leave.
Soul
Brothers of Kung Fu.
Soul Brothers of Kung Fu. And I loved that film when I was young, man. I don't know if it holds up now, but at the time, Soul Brothers of Kung Fu was pretty kick-ass.
All right. I'm definitely going to make a note of that. So this is it's been an hour, man.
All right. Well,
so I guess that we read some email, talked about some good news, top 5, all that good stuff.
We did what we normally do. Yeah, so I guess that's time to say good night, everybody.
Good night.